what if Hollywood wasn't all glitz and glam? What if beneath the red carpets and blockbuster premieres, there's a whole world they don't want you to see? Well, guess what? Ice Cube just spilled the tea and it's piping hot. Ice Cube isn't just a rap legend or a movie star. He's the guy who'll call it like it is. And this time, he's aiming straight at Hollywood's shadiest secrets. From backroom politics to why the realest stories get lost in the shuffle, Cube is serving up truths most people wouldn't dare touch. But here's where it gets even juicier. Fans are chiming in too. Some are hyped, calling him a hero, while others, well, let's just say they're clutching their popcorn in shock. So, what's got Ice Cube speaking out now? And how does it all tie back to heavyweights like Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg? Let's unpack it all, because this is one story Hollywood doesn't want you to hear. Ice Cube doesn't just speak his mind, he drops the mic every time. But this time, oh, he brought the heat like a blockbuster summer sequel. It all started with a jaw-dropping interview where Cube didn't bother tiptoeing around the issue. He stomped on it. No small talk, no sugarcoating. Cube went in hard, shining a spotlight on Hollywood's behind-the-scenes politics. He called out the puppet strings controlling who gets their moment in the limelight, who's left in the shadows, and why the stories that challenge the norm mysteriously disappear. His vibe, like a guy who's been holding back for years and finally said, "Nah, y'all are gonna hear me today." His accusations went beyond the usual gripes about favoritism. Cube painted a picture of a deeply entrenched system designed to resist change at all costs. In his eyes, Hollywood isn't just playing it safe, it's playing gatekeeper, blocking out the kinds of voices and stories that could shake things up. And let's face it, Cube isn't just talking about a few overlooked projects, he's calling out a decades-old machine that's long overdue for a reboot. If Cube's interview was the match, the internet was the gasoline. Social media exploded like a late-night premiere. Within hours, hashtags like #IceCubeExposes, Hollywood, and #HollywoodTruth were trending, turning Cube's words into a full-blown cultural moment. Fans were out here acting like it was 1989 all over again, cheering him on like he just dropped a verse in Straight Outta Compton. One fan tweeted, "Finally, someone's saying what we've all been thinking about Hollywood." That post racked up thousands of likes, proving Cube wasn't just speaking for himself. He was voicing what a lot of people feel about the industry. Another fan chimed in, "Cube's always been real, but this? Next level." Not everyone was in full agreement, though. A few skeptics raised an eyebrow, asking, "Is this legit, or is Cube just venting frustrations?" Still, whether people were cheering or questioning, one thing was clear. Ice Cube had the world buzzing, and in an industry where buzz is currency, Cube just cashed in big. When Ice Cube speaks, you know he's about to drop some serious truth bombs. And this time, he didn't hold back. Forget the polite tap on the shoulder. Cube came in swinging, aiming straight for the heart of Hollywood's dirty laundry. He wasn't here to sugarcoat anything. His big gripe? Hollywood has a major issue with authenticity, especially when it comes to championing diverse stories. And he didn't stop at just pointing it out. He went full-on exposé mode. Cube revealed how some of the rawest, most culturally significant stories, ones that spotlight real struggles and underrepresented voices, don't just get ignored, but often get completely sanitized. We're talking stories that could change perspectives and spark conversations, diluted until they're unrecognizable. And Cube didn't mince words when he called this a systemic issue, baked right into Hollywood's very foundation. Forget tiptoeing. Cube stomped right in and let the industry know he's onto their game. Cube's beef with Hollywood? It's playing it too safe. And by safe, he means boring. According to Cube, Hollywood has this unwritten rule. If a story might challenge the status quo or make people uncomfortable, it's a no-go. But what does that leave us with? Predictable sequels, recycled tropes, and movies that feel like they were designed by an algorithm trying to offend as few people as possible. Cube made it clear, he's not here for the cookie-cutter narratives. He's all about the raw, unfiltered truths, the kinds of stories that make you stop and think, wow, I've never seen that before. But instead of celebrating these bold ideas, Cube says Hollywood keeps them buried, stuck in development hell, or rewritten into something unrecognizable. And honestly, when was the last time you watched a movie and thought, this feels real? Cube says it's no accident, it's Hollywood prioritizing profit over purpose. Let's be real, Cube hit the nail on the head with this one. How often do we watch a movie that feels like every decision was made by a committee of people who haven't seen the outside world in years? According to Cube, this is the Hollywood playbook in action. He painted a vivid picture of directors and writers pitching bold, groundbreaking ideas, only to have them dissected and diluted by executives more worried about market research than art. Cube's take? This obsession with making everything marketable strips movies of their soul. Instead of raw, human stories, we get shiny, formulaic productions designed to appeal to the broadest possible audience. Sure, they might make money, but they don't leave a lasting impact. Cube isn't here for the safe, sanitized version of storytelling. He's calling for the kind of creative freedom that puts authenticity over box office projections. Here's where Cube really starts connecting the dots. He's not just saying Hollywood plays it safe for the sake of money, he's saying it's about something bigger: control. According to him, Hollywood isn't just about entertainment. It's about shaping the way we see the world, enforcing certain norms, and keeping audiences comfortable with the status quo. In Cube's eyes, stories have the power to challenge systems and ignite change, and that's exactly why the gatekeepers want to keep certain narratives out of the spotlight. Cube broke it down. If a story questions authority or offers a perspective that shakes things up, Hollywood finds a way to shut it down. Whether that means refusing to fund it, watering down the message, or quietly shelving it, the result is the same. Cube made it clear this isn't just a creative issue. It's about who gets to control the conversation. When you control the stories people see, Cube said, you control how they think. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but what does this have to do with Dre and Snoop? Oh, everything. Cube hinted at the broader struggles artists face, even ones as big as him and his peers. Remember, this is a guy who's worked alongside legends, yet he's still calling out the system for its lack of respect for the culture. In one of his interviews, Cube reflected on how projects he's been part of had to fight tooth and nail to stay authentic. Fans quickly made the connection to others in his circle. Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, two industry titans, have also faced similar battles. Whether it's about their music, their image, or their entrepreneurial ventures, Hollywood's red tape has tried to wrap around them too. Cube's takeaway? If it can happen to the biggest names in the game, imagine what it's like for up-and-coming creators trying to break in. This isn't the first time Hollywood's been called out. Cube's just the latest in a line of artists and insiders who have pulled back the curtain. Think about the stories we've heard over the years. Actors talking about pay disparities, directors revealing how creative projects get hijacked, and musicians sharing horror stories about shady contracts. Cube's revelations fit right into that narrative, but he's coming at it with a unique perspective. He's not just talking about money or contracts, he's talking about the heart of Hollywood, how it shapes the stories we consume, and ultimately, how it shapes culture. Ice Cube's words aren't just chilling in Hollywood, they're breaking free, doing the rounds and making waves everywhere. Aspiring filmmakers and writers are taking notes like it's a masterclass, seeing Cube's message as their green light to shake things up. Forget the cookie-cutter stories. They're gearing up to serve raw, real, and revolutionary content. It's like Cube handed them a megaphone and said, "Go make some noise." From indie filmmakers with big dreams to TikTok creators dropping mini-movies on their phones, there's a buzz in the air that says, authenticity is the new blockbuster. Even beyond the industry, Cube's message is resonating. He has folks everywhere side-eyeing their favorite movies and shows, asking, wait a minute, is this for real or just Hollywood selling me another shiny distraction? People are rethinking that perfect, tied up with a bow ending and wondering if it's more about box office stats than storytelling. Cube's got us questioning everything, like, is this art or just a slick product? Suddenly, that feel-good rom-com feels a little too neat, and that action movie, maybe a little too predictable. His message is planting seeds of curiosity and making everyone a bit more suspicious in the best way. Think of it as the ultimate plot twist. Cube calling out Hollywood and the audience finally waking up. One of the most striking parts of Cube's revelations is his message to young creators. Don't wait for their approval. Make your own lane. And if anyone knows about creating their own lane, it's Ice Cube. From his early days in NWA to producing box office hits, he's built an empire by staying true to himself. As we wrap up this video, it's clear that Ice Cube's not just airing grievances, he's issuing a challenge to Hollywood, to fans, and to the next generation of creators. His message? Do better. It's a bold call, but if anyone can back it up, it's Cube. And judging by the reactions, he struck a chord. So, what do you think? Is Ice Cube shining a necessary spotlight on Hollywood's flaws, or is this just another chapter in the industry's never-ending drama? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you liked this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Until next time, keep questioning, keep creating, and keep it real.